Good morning. Welcome back to it's not the morning, it's the afternoon already. Welcome back to the Football Terrace. Make sure that like button is being smashed. You're subscribing to the Football Terrace. The bell notifications are turned on. I hope you are all doing very well. We have some interesting news for you today as well. Exclusive news being brought to you by the Football Terrace and our brand new partners as well in relation to the summer transfer window that Liverpool fans could expect to have. But this show is about you. We're going to open up the StreamYard link very soon for you to come on and have your say. Tell us what you're thinking. Tell us what you're feeling. Give us your views, opinions, and all that jazz. And yes, the link will be open for you all to come on and have your say. And as we know, it's been a very disappointing season for Liverpool. To go from being one of the best champions in Premier League history, winning the title at a canter, winning it early, winning it easily, breaking records along the way, to potentially not qualifying for the Champions League this year, finishing outside the top four, almost out of the Champions League, and of course out of both domestic cup competitions. It's not been a good year. It really hasn't been a good year in domestic football or European football for Liverpool. There has been a lot of talk from Liverpool Football Club just as recently as January, where they spoke about not doing much business in January, although it was needed, and going big in the summer. We had a conversation today with one of Europe's leading journalists and one of the biggest sports management companies across the planet about Liverpool's plans this summer. And we got permission to share this information with you, and that is what we're going to do now. Liverpool will sign players this summer. Absolutely, 110% they will. They absolutely will buy and sell players this summer, there is no doubt. But it's exceedingly unlikely for Liverpool to spend exorbitant amounts of money, big marquee signings. The Haalands, the Sanchos, the Mbappes that have been linked with Liverpool for a while now. These 70+ million pound signings going into the hundreds of millions of pounds are exceedingly unlikely to happen at Liverpool unless they sell a major star first. So that's first and foremost. FSG will not sanction the spending of anywhere north of 70 million pounds this summer without the sale of a big star at the club. So when you think about all the stars, you're really looking at Mane and you're looking at Mo Salah that would fetch that level of money that you could potentially sell. VVD's going nowhere. Trent's going nowhere. I doubt they're going to try and cash in on Robertson. Finding an adequate replacement for them is going to be very, very difficult. So what I was informed is this, that Liverpool Football Club and the fans associated should forget any ideas of major high-level players coming in. What is more likely this summer is for the signings to be more Jota-esque, between that high 20s and low 40 million pound mark. 3 or 4 of them are expected. We know one of the major targets that Liverpool have already spoken to. A preliminary medical has already been taken and it has been done by the RB Leipzig centre-back, Ibrahim Konate. That 34 million pound deal is what is being touted as the price. That is the level of player or the amount of money per signing that Liverpool Football Club are going to look at signing. Pedro Neto is another player that Liverpool are looking at, that they are keen on. That fits the profile perfectly. Nottingham Forest. Norwich's Buendia is another player that Liverpool are looking at to come in as an option next season. But this is the area of the market that Liverpool are going to be shopping in. This is the type of player that they are going to buy. But I want to know what Liverpool fans think of this information. I mean, that I was given today, that I've come to speak to you about. Does this feel right for the way Liverpool and FSG run the football club? Or do you think that the information I've been given is warped? It's off the Richter scale. It isn't going to happen in this way. I'm really willing to listen to you on this. You're front and center of the Football Terrace, as always. We've got some super chats here that say, I'd rather 3 to 4, 20 to 40 million signings than one big player who comes in. We need depth, not stars. Dwayne says, must be frustrating for Liverpool after winning the league in a position of strength. Another poor window. I can't see Liverpool winning a major trophy next season. And I like both these super chats because they pull on a lot of things I've said for a while now. I think FSG's model, generally speaking, is to sign very talented footballers that you can mold into a team that may win that may over a 5-year period win a couple of major trophies. I don't think Liverpool are going to spend ever under FSG with regularity in the same way that we have seen Chelsea, that we see Paris Saint-Germain, that we see Manchester City spend to get themselves to the top and try and maintain that. If they do have a player leave, generally for say £100 million, it's more likely that money is going to be split in two or split into three, and they'll go out and say, right, you know what? We'll sign Buendia, we'll sign Neto, and we'll sign Konate. If we sell Mo Salah for 120 mil, that money will be used to sign a replacement in Neto, a creative midfielder in Buendia, and a good quality, high talented centre back in Konate. That's how it looks as though Liverpool are going to spend the money this summer, as opposed to chasing after the Jadon Sanchos and Haalands. We've got some big news coming up on them later. Information shared by the exact same agent with us this afternoon. So we're going to bring that to you at around 5:30. But I do want your views. I do want your opinion as well. Zaza here says, Terry, my brother, your Poch agenda got exposed yesterday. Don't say you changed it out of respect. Why you had to write it in the first place. It's a very weird comment to come out with today, Zaza. Absolutely, I did change it out. If I was trying to delete tweets so that in case nobody saw it, I wouldn't post a tweet saying that I deleted a tweet. That wouldn't make any sense. I would have just ignored it and it goes away because it's Twitter. I don't have a Poch agenda at all. I wanted Pochettino at Manchester United. I did. Where I'm talking about Poch is people that had this nonsensical argument that if he came to Man United in December, we would have won the league. It's a nonsensical claim that makes no sense. So it isn't a pop at Poch. It's a pop at the people that said that he would come into this squad that isn't as strong as Paris Saint-Germain's and isn't in a league where that squad and team has a monopoly, and would just walk the league. It made it sound like it would be easy. That's what it comes down to. Everyone knows I highly rate Mauricio Pochettino. I think he's one of the next great managers on the list. The only thing yet for him to achieve is actually winning major trophies. Once he starts doing that, that's all the boxes tick. So there is no agenda. Nice try. Nice try, Zaza. But not today, my friend. This comment here says Liverpool will sign a centre-half and a new striker. They could do. A comment here says, Terry, Liverpool aren't being linked with Odegaard. There was a link with Odegaard a few days ago. I don't remember which publication I saw it in. I did see a link to him. But a lot of the links, you've already seen Konate links. The Neto links will start to increase soon. And if you haven't done so yet, I'm pretty sure they're coming soon. The Emi Buendia links to Liverpool will start also. These are 3 players that Liverpool are linked with, that they are looking at, that they are going out there and trying to sign, and they're putting the work in now to try and drum up this business to get it done. Zaza here says, I like your content, bro. I'm not hating. Just admit it. You are wrong and have an agenda. Don't lose your objectivity because of the Ollie outers. I like TFT. There is nothing I'm wrong. I'm not trying to double down here, bro. And I appreciate the super chat. And I know you watch a lot. I see you in most of our streams. Listen to what I'm saying. And I mean this genuinely from the heart. When I put out tweets about Poch, I'm not attacking Poch. I'm attacking the comments related to him. So when I said, I put a tweet out the other day, I don't remember it verbatim, but I basically quoted things people say about Ollie, about no style, no system. He just relies on individual stuff. I'm having a pop at the people that said, if Poch took over Man United in December, it was non-negotiable. We would have won the league. That for me is a far more that's an outrageous statement to make. Just disregarding all the other teams in the league, especially Manchester City. That's who I'm making fun of. That's who I'm having a bit of banter with. Let me repeat this for everyone in the back. Catch it in 4K. I rate Mauricio Pochettino. I think he's an excellent manager. What he needs to do is win some major trophies because he's got the bottle title hanging over his head. If he goes out of the Champions League after winning 3-2 yesterday and doesn't win League R, people are going to come for him. And the longer he goes without winning, especially when he's managing a team that have a huge monopoly over European football because of their finances, the more these names will follow him around. But I have no agenda against Poch. I'm having a bit of fun with Ollie outers. That's it. Let's dead it now because it doesn't need any more attention than that. It's as simple and as straightforward as that, bro. Do me a favor this afternoon. Smash that like and share button. Hamid here with a super chat says, good morning from I assume that's New York because that's the Statue of Liberty. He says, remotely not even surprised. The fan base are in for a huge, underwhelming summer. FSG treat their baseball team, Red Sox, worse than Liverpool. That's where Liverpool are heading. But don't you think, Hamid, don't you think, though, so again, another thing that the agent said to me today is the train of thought in relation to Liverpool is their current team isn't really suited to. I want to word it how he did. Isn't suited to being the best in the sense of when this team with this collection of players, some world class, some really good workhorses. They were at their best when they were hungry for success. Once they've achieved the success, the mentality is different and it's dipped. To have people that are continually hungry for success after gaining it and have higher levels of ability, they are the creme de la creme football players. They are tip top. They're the very best out there. They're very, very expensive. Liverpool are not in the market to continually buy those players and or keep them at the club because how much they want to. If Haaland's asking for £500,000, can you imagine what his contemporaries are going to start asking for? It's going to raise the roof again. So it stands to reason that Liverpool would look for Neto level, Buendia level, Konate level players who haven't reached their peaks, who are hungry, who are highly talented as footballers to create a new team that is going to push, be hungry, hurried, and push to get to the top to try and win Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues again. I think that's FSG's model. And every now and then, maybe if they sell a big player, i.e. Coutinho style, they'll say, right, we desperately need a world-class player that's ready-made. And Alisson, let's go out and buy him. Van Dijk fits into that mold. But the majority of Liverpool signings are between that high 20s, low 40 margin. The majority. A few have gone outside of that, haven't quite worked, i.e. well, loads have, one hasn't at the top of my mind in Naby Keita. But Hamid, I think that's their model. I think that is their model. Big up to yourself, Samuel, as well. Thank you very much for tuning in. There's a comment here from Neeks. I think people calling out Neek Sports here. Liverpool will be top 2 next season. I have a feeling they're going to bounce back as well. And these types of signings, I'm not even saying that these signings are going to be bad for Liverpool. If that's their model and it's the kind of personnel they want and players they want, attitudes they want, who's to say it isn't going to work? Neto's quality. And he's half the price of other top stars. Buendia, highly creative. Fraction of the price of his contemporaries from major European clubs. Konate, the only question mark is legitimately the injury record. Liverpool have done a preliminary medical already. They seemingly seem happy with the results. Seemingly seem, that's terrible English. They are seemingly happy with the results because they're pushing on trying to negotiate this deal. Those 3 signings for, say, 110 million, is that better than a Haaland for the same price? That's the question you have to ask yourselves. It really, really is. We're going to open up the lines now for you to have your say. Before we do that, big shout out to our title sponsors, Manscaped. You can still get 20% off of all their male grooming product right now on their website. The link for that is in our description below. Comment here says, Terry, why do United fans think that Sancho is definitely going? If Dortmund put 70 million on him, why don't you think Paris Saint-Germain, Chelsea, Real Madrid, Liverpool will go in for him? Mo, we will talk about that. We've got a big show regarding Jadon Sancho coming up at 5:30, where again, I say semi-exclusive. A lot of it is what we've already heard in the media and been confirmed, but I want to go through that later, and that will come up as a subject matter. So 5:30 tonight. Get yourself involved, get yourselves on, and we'll be talking about that. The link to call in, I'm going to spam it now in the live comment section if you want to come on and have your say. We want to hear about your thoughts on Liverpool's proposed summer transfer window. Hello. What are you doing? You're filthy. Look at you. You had lunch. Come here. What's with that dirt on your top then? You say hello to everyone? Yeah. I'm working right now. Do you know that? No. I am? I am, darling. I got cold hands. I've got cold hands? Yeah. It's because it's cold out here. I know. Are you going to let me work, darling? No. Can I go back to work, please? No. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? What do you want me to work? You want me to work? Yeah. Give me a kiss goodbye then. No. Why? Give me a kiss. No. Do you love me? No. No? No. I miss you. No. Do you love me? Yes. I love you very much, Freya. I love you very much. All right, give me a kiss goodbye then. No. All right, bye-bye. Shut that door. Can you shut that door? I've got to work, darling. I want to see you. Okay, you want to sit here for a bit while I work? Okay, let's do this. We're going to go some calls now. You can't hear anybody, but don't press any buttons either because you'll switch the stream off. You really, really will. Yes, the boss is here. It's in complete control. First caller of the day. We're going to get iTest's actual son. No, don't touch that. Please don't touch that, Missy. We're going to get iTest's son on the show. Welcome to the terrace. What do you want to say?
Yeah, how are you, Terry?
Yeah, I'm struggling, but I'm good.
Yeah. First of all, I want to give a shout out, to the Discord, because obviously you see them, man, they're onto me, a bunch of twats, but they're onto me, obviously. But shout out to them because I don't know, they just wanted it from me. Anyway, regarding Liverpool, I think getting Konate it is a good deal, but it's a dodgy deal as well. I think with the injuries he has, you don't know how he's gonna perform. It's dodgy. But my thing is though, why do we rely so much on stats? Why can't we just go back to the old days where you just rely on eye test? Like Ronaldo, right? Ronaldo came to Sporting, I think. If I remember, he had 3 goals and 4 assists that season. And United just picked him up. And look what he's done since.
Yeah, but there was an element of statistics based on that. It was, how well he performed in his youth career as well. So there'll be statistics behind that. There is an element of eye test. We all know how good Jadon Sancho is, for instance. 1 second, Di. We all know how good Jadon Sancho is without the goals and assists that he scores. But he's got both. So I think you do need to look at both. You can't say somebody's highly creative if they're not creating chances. You can't say someone's a good goal scorer unless they are a good goal scorer. And that would mean having a high number of goals, or at the very least a good conversion rate of chances. So football players do need to have statistical evidence and facts to back up how good your eye test thinks they are. If you say someone's a really good passer, but they only got a 50% pass completion, and their ball retention is twonk, I would say your eye test's off because something isn't computing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think you need both in these conversations. You really, really do. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. You're struggling hard, Terry.
And can you go play with your brother? No. Okay. Jackson's in bed.
Oh my god.
Okay. All right. Listen. You go play with your mummy then. And I'll see you in a minute. Okay.
Mummy's on a call.
Mummy's on a call. Oh, great. All right. Stay for a bit longer. In terms of Liverpool's transfer window, though.
Yeah.
Do you think they're making the right decision going after this kind of profile of player, or do you think they need to sign big and marquee signings?
I think personally, if I was Liverpool, I wouldn't go for it because they don't have. I think they're like us in a way where they don't have that much money. I think with a team like Manchester United, I can go for that risk because you have the money and the financial. You have the finance to do it. But I don't think it's a good deal for Liverpool. I think you should go for that proven centre back, someone that can make a difference. But it is what it is.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. Listen, bro, appreciate you coming on, having your say. Really, really do, mate. Thank you very, very much, and speak to you soon. Top man. Obviously having a tough day on Discord today. I'm going to take care of this little one. I'm going to be back in 30 seconds, right? I'll see you all in a bit. You can say bye-bye. 2 seconds. Let's go. Right. I'll be out soon, all right? Lee, I need you. I'm streaming on live. Working from home settings, peeps. Sorry about that. Jeez. There we go. Free Freya. She's cool now. She's cool. Let's go to the next caller. We've got Ahad on the line. Ahad's a United fan, I believe. What do you want to say, mate?
Very happy they're not making signings.
Yeah, I mean, they're not making major signings, but...
Only a little bit, because we don't like Liverpool.
No, I totally understand. Do you think they're signing good players or bad players?
Bad.
There we go. Thank you, Ahad, for your call there. Really appreciate that, bro. You can all phone in. I'm going to share the link in the comment section again right now. Now, that didn't work. Press that. Everyone's talking about Freya. Yeah, Freya's gone. Oh, I know why it's not pasting. Because I turned the keyboard off when Freya was in here because she touches buttons like a mad one. There you go. The link's been posted again. Next on the show, I'm going to try and I'm going to try and pronounce the name right. I think it's I can't. I'm not going to try. I'll murder it if I try. Welcome to the terrace. How do I pronounce your name, buddy?
It's Velvishwan.
Velvishwan. Okay, I nearly said that out loud, and I was like, I might get it wrong. Welcome to the channel, bro. You're a Liverpool fan. What do you make of this type of profile of signings you're being linked with?
I feel like it's typical Liverpool because if you look at previous years, we signed like players that not really no one's heard of before, like with Mo Salah, Jota. Like Jota was an amazing signing last year. I feel like going for Buendia, Konate, and Neto is an ideal signing for us this summer. But the only problem is like we need to get rid of some players at this club because if you look at previous years, we usually sell players and then buy the players. So last summer window we got rid of Lovren, got into Simicast, got rid of Brewster, Keanu Hoover to get Jota and Thiago. So like this summer I feel like we need to offload some players to get in those players to come in because our squad needs refreshment because that's how we haven't retained the title this year.
Yeah, you definitely do. I mean, I think when I spoke to a friend of mine today, that's the agent I'm talking about, really good guy. He sort of looks at it. Liverpool are very comfortable. There isn't a player you're linked with at the moment that isn't a technically good football player. I just suppose that from a fan point of view, when Chelsea are linked with Haaland, United, Sancho, City with Haaland, and with Messi maybe coming in, and all these, when you suddenly hear Buendia and Neto, maybe it does feel a little bit underwhelming. But look how good Jota was injured, but look how good a signing Diogo Jota has been this year for Liverpool. Timo Werner was a bigger name signing, hasn't worked. Kai Havertz, bigger name signing, hasn't worked. Cavani, for whatever reason, hasn't worked in the same way. So I don't think Liverpool fans should be too discouraged by this. It fits with the FSG model. It's been successful before. But I suppose everyone's got different views and opinions. Bro, I appreciate you coming on. And that is a stunning mustache you've got as well, mate. Really, really is. Look after yourself, bro. Take care. Thank you for phoning in. Viewers, smash that like and that share button. If you're new, if you've only just joined in, let me give you a bit of a recap on what we have spoken about today. We've been informed that Liverpool are not going to be making any major marquee signings this summer from a cost point of view. No 70, 80, 90 million pound plus players to try and recruit the Mbappes, Haalands, Sanchos of this world, unless major money is made through the sale of an asset, namely Mane or Mo Salah. Then and only then will large amounts of money be spent. It's highly likely that Liverpool are going to target more players in the price range of the Diogo Jotas. They've already done a preliminary medical with Konate from RB Leipzig. They are looking at Buendia. They're looking at Neto as two other names that could come in and rejuvenate this Liverpool squad. I want your views. I want your opinions on this information today. Next on the show, we're going to have Tom Littles back with us again. Tom, welcome back to the terrace, mate. What's your thoughts on this?
I can't lie, I tell you, I'm sick of it now. We're the only Premier League champions who've seen broke. We've got no money. This squad, it's hit its ceiling. And Buendia, he's a great player, don't get me wrong. He's a cracking little player for Norwich. I'm surprised he hasn't been snapped up before. But Buendia isn't going to push these players onto the next level. You need to break the bank in a sense. Take a year of a little bit less profit coming in for the next 5 years to be exponential. You know, the last big signing we made was Alisson. Look at the impact he had. The one before that, Van Dijk. They have big signings, have impact. The board seems to be very reliant on the fact that Jurgen Klopp can unearth these gems and turn them into world beaters. But eventually, you're going to hit a wall with that, and it can't continue. And then what do? We're stumped. I think we just need to go for it with one player.
So you would rather, if say there's 120 mil to spend on the three name players I mentioned, you'd rather that all go on Haaland, keep everyone else that you've got, go for Haaland, and you think that's a better option?
Yeah, I'd say splash it all on a big name superstar who can push this team into the next level, into the next era. Because this era, it's been great, but it's slowly got to start phasing out. Each great team has a 3 to 4 year lifespan, and we're getting to the end of that. And as a fan, I don't want these players, I don't want this team's reputation to become tarnished in my eyes, because we've had an awful end to it. So if we can bring in that big name, we move on to the next one, and it's all looking great then.
And who for you is who's the player for you? Is it Haaland? Is it Mbappe? Is it Sancho? Who would be that marquee signing that you think would take you re-level you and get you back to winning those titles?
I don't know. I'd love any of them at my club. I haven't seen a world-class striker at my club since Luis Suarez, but I'd have to go on Mbappe. I think there just seems to be quite a few little coincidences falling in place. It seems to definitely be the more likely of the two, which is still crazy to me. The fact that one of the best players in the world wants to join Liverpool. But that one's the more likely one. But it's like asking which one of the Kardashians you want to sleep with. You're not going to get a loss either way, are you?
Not people like me and you, mate. We're no chance. Do you know what I mean? It's never going to happen at all. I think what's interesting for me, though, the one thing I would say where I feel a bit sorry for Liverpool fans is over a year ago now, the Mbappe conversation started. Mbappe likes Liverpool. The new Nike deal was going to be revolutionary. It was going to raise the money to make it doable. Who's the basketball player that's connected?
LeBron James. He owns a part of the club now.
His influence is going to do X, Y, and Z. You were going to sign. Kai Havertz was a player you were going to get. Werner was a player you were going to get. This January just gone, there was this notion of we're not going to spend big last summer. We're not going to spend big this summer because of COVID. Next year we go big. January comes. We're not going to spend big in January because we're going to go big. Well, I don't want to get the words wrong here, but it was along the lines of, we're going to turn heads and blow people out the water and do something sensational in the summer. They keep telling Liverpool fans the marquee superstars, the new era's coming, but then they go and get Buendias. Then they go and get Jotas. Do you feel would you rather just FSG be more upfront with what they're doing?
Well, I think the thing that sums up FSG and their transfer policy, I seem to remember John W. Henry did an interview with Sky Sports just before the Champions League final. And he said, regardless of the result, he'd say, this is the start, expect big things this summer. And the big things were a 33-year-old Adrian on a free, Harvey Elliott, and Sepp van den Berg. The owners, I thank them for what they did in 2011, saving the club from a dire situation. But they've not done anything exceptional. And they, realistically, I might sound a bit hard, they got lucky with Jurgen Klopp. They got lucky that they got a manager who is as good as he is and can work with limited budgets like he can. Because if we got another Rodgers, we'd be stuck in a cycle over and over again of nearly, but not quite enough. So the owners need to pull the finger out and start acting like a big club. We are now, Jurgen Klopp has put us back to where we belong. And yet our owners still treat us like a mid-table club. Oh, we've got to sell to buy. We got the most prize money ever from the Champions League and Premier League. But apparently we've got no money. It doesn't make sense to me. Obviously, I don't know how the club runs its finances, but where's all the money going?
Yeah, we've had a comment here that I saw a few moments ago that said, I'll try and find it again. Alex G basically saying that we're chatting nonsense because they've had 500 million investment from Redbird. I don't know what Redbird is. Is that? Yeah. Okay,
it's a new investment company from another American fella.
Okay. And that's fine, right? So then I want to see it spent.
But all the journalists have come out and said that 500 million is not going to be spent on transfers. It's going to be spent on upgrading the stadium. Yeah, stadiums, facilities. And whenever you hear like we're going to invest it into the academy and into the training facilities, that tells me more than anything that they're going to buy lesser players that then need that level of development. And it isn't that Liverpool are broke. No one's claiming they're broke. But it's just what this is talking about is what their transfer strategy is going to be. We're getting a lot of comments from people as well that says you're acting like Man United are
Man United, Man United are the richest club in the world, but they buy Cavani. Lol, bruv, there's no need for whataboutism here. I'm not here saying my club's run better. I'm just giving you information that I was provided today by one of the world's leading sports management companies.
Edinson Cavani weren't even a bad signing when you think about it. You know, it's a world-class striker who was at the top level, and he wasn't signed to be the main man. He was signed to nurture the likes of Greenwood, give them an extra aspect to the game, mentor them. And if you can chip in with a few goals, you know, we're stuck with signing young kids and hoping that Jurgen Klopp can keep working his magic and turn wingers into the next Mo Salah and midfielders into the next Steven Gerrard. And eventually, it's not going to happen.
No, I agree. And as I say, this isn't the whataboutism isn't needed in any way, shape, or form, because it's like I'm not having a pop at Liverpool here. And the person I was talking to today, we weren't chatting. He wasn't going, oh, Liverpool in the mud. He's very connected with Liverpool and said, this is their approach. This is how they're behaving. My job as running a fan media channel is I want to know what fans think about this information. If you don't think it's going to happen, you think the money's going to be spent, come on and tell us. It's not about saying you're not wrong. It's just so far what you've said doesn't make too much sense. Tom, great call as ever, mate. Look forward to speaking to you again soon, mate. All the best. Smash that like and share button, people. Make sure you sign up to our Discord server. Best football chat room on the planet. I sit there watching it some nights. You all make me die. The way you rip into each, you need to have some thick skin based on your own football opinion, but it's very, very good. Go sign up to that right now. Super chat here says, I'd rather win LFC way than the City way, and that is from a United fan. Be honest with you, mate. I just want to win. Win at all costs, pretty much, as far as I'm concerned. Peter Butler here, long-time Terrace viewer, says, hi, Terry. FSG sold 10% of, for 520 million. It's believed it will be used to write off losses for COVID, should allow Liverpool to spend as they normally would a couple of signings needed, striker and a CB. There we go. I haven't really seen anything on that or read anything about it. I knew somebody would give me some clarification. And you're right. That 520 million is to cover like losses that have gone out, and they will spend some of it on players. But as we've said today, that doesn't look like it's going to be spent on one player. If there's 120, 130 million to be spent, it's going to be spread across 3 or 4 players. The question is to Liverpool fans, is that the right way to go about it? Or as Tom has just phoned in and said, should the money be invested in one marquee superstar player, an Mbappe, a Haaland, a Jadon Sancho? What do you think the best approach is? You're not right. You're not wrong per se, but it's about fan opinion. Next up, we've got Peterson coming onto the channel. Peterson, welcome to the terrace, mate. What do you want to say, bro?
What's up, man? Liverpool fan. I saw we're linked with Konate. I don't feel that deal. I just don't feel it. He's way too injury prone. And I feel that we need a well-established central back. Or maybe a young one, I don't mind. I would go for Botman instead of Konate. There's like 40 million for Konate for injury guy. I don't feel it. I just don't feel it. And I think, yes, we need to raise money. It's Liverpool, obviously. We're not going to buy players like City. I think we should probably sell Ox, Nabi, Matip, Origi. Maybe raise 50, 60 million for them. I mean, I think we should probably go and buy Pedro Neto. And I know Allen's not going to come. Why? Because we're simply not going to make top 4 this year. It's as simple as that. Do I believe in top 4? I don't. No. From what I saw from the game against Real Madrid, nah, we're not doing top 4 this year. It's that simple. And the thing that pisses me off so bad is the fact that we won Champions League like 2 years ago. We also won the Prem last year, and we will buck with that. Jota, Thiago, no central backs. It's simply that easy. We're not. I feel our owners are not doing us a favor. Just how it is.
Listen, I feel you. A lot of Liverpool fans that phoned this show spoke about like that in last season. Peterson, great call, bro. Look forward. Definitely phone in again, mate. Great call, well articulated, top man. Thank you, brother. Next up, Sharim, who's a Liverpool fan, will be on the air. Let's get this stream past the 250 like mark while we are live on the air. So all of you give that a little smash now for me. Support the Football Terrace, please. Be nice if you could. Be nice if you could. I want to see it. start going up. I'm not going to move forward until then. There we go. I jumped up a little bit. We'll leave it there for now. Sharim's with us here. What you saying, brother?
Oh God, not surprised by what you're saying. They've always been fucking tramps. For me personally, I'd like to see us spread the cost around and buying new players, but if it means we have to sell one of our first teamers, that's the part that would frustrate me the most. Like the guy said before, that the players on the bench, they're poor, and we need to start from there and get rid of them. And from there, we need to build a team and put players like Mane and Firmino not performing just back on the bench and let them sit there and give them time to get back to that quality that they were before. If not, we have to push them on then.
Yeah, listen, I'm in two minds. It's very difficult for me to question FSG. I don't think FSG's model's wrong.
No,
I just don't think they're looking to build title-winning teams with the speed and regularity what Liverpool fans want. And the problem with winning is very addictive. You win that, you don't want to wait. Liverpool fans don't want to wait another 3 seasons to win the Premier League again. You want it straight away.
To be fair, for me personally, bro, I thought I'd die before I'd see Liverpool win the title. So I think I'm personally a bit more patient. I understand that. For me, it's like, okay, we build a team, but we have to build the right team and make sure that none of our players are getting picked apart, because we've seen in the past so many times where we're selling our best players and then we take 2 steps back and we fall back into our 7th or 8th position, or we're just crap for that season. So whatever we do, we've got to be sustainable in terms of sign the right players, keep hold of them, and add to a squad that's already challenging.
And I hear that there's a comment here from Jason that says, Terry, you see that Grizz Khan, who I know very well, great guy, says his sources claim Liverpool's #1 target is Mbappe. Grizz got Thiago right too. Your thoughts? So as we already said in this stream, Liverpool will target a marquee signing of Mbappe level, of Mbappe money, of Haaland money, if they sell and get big money for a Mane or a Salah. They will not, let me say it out right now, Liverpool will not sign an Mbappe and keep both Mane and Mo Salah. So Grizz isn't wrong in what he's saying there, but there's a caveat behind that. And by the way, no matter how much you love Mane or love Mo Salah, you would swap one of them for Mbappe.
Yeah.
So it could happen. And the point is, if you sell Mane for 120 million and you sign Mbappe for the same amount, you've still got the other funds to bring in the Netos, Konates, and the Buendias. You're not going to sign that big star and the 3 or 4 other squad players needed without selling someone big. That's what we said. So that very much by Grizz could be true. Grizz knows people.
Quick question as well. In terms of how much money we got left, well, how much budget we apparently got, if that doesn't include players that we sell, we've got at least 50 million on the bench that we can get rid. And you've got at least 20, maybe 25 million that's on loan as well.
Yeah.
So, you can add a lot more to that. And even if you want to go for Mbappe, I agree. Just sell. I'd been Mane before I'd been Salah personally. He just looks like...
My guy here, Bits and Bob, says, Terry, I've told you, Cookie Crumble FC, 31 years, another way. Pick up yourself, Bits and Bob's doing bits at the minute. It's weird with his name, Bits and Bobs. I said...
Where'd you get that name from? Is his name Bobby or something?
Yeah, but it's like sometimes I say, oh, yeah, I'm about to go and do Bits and Bobs with Bits and Bobs. Or I said, Bobby's doing, Bobby's doing bits on his channel, but it's like he's Bits and Bobs. Big up yourself, Cookie Crumble FC. It really
Leave
depends.
us alone.
Problem is, though, with these lower level signings, if you say you don't sign a big star, and you get Neto and he does okay, but Buendia just isn't good enough, right? Against low block. And Konate spends half the season out injured. It's another. Fans will lose it with FSG.
Yeah.
Because I said it last summer. I'm pretty much been right on this. I felt that you were taking a risk not having a big summer, but I felt FSG thought this squad's still good enough to retain the title.
Yeah.
It's only now on reflection they've realized, you know what? Some of our lesser players, without that burning hunger to win it, haven't been as good. There've been injuries as an example, and their decision not to spend big last summer has really bit them in the backside. So whatever they do this summer, it has to work. It just has to
right. But mind you, we do have a decent track record of signing good players and getting them to another level. They've like potential. I'm not saying let's just get some donkey and let's try to make him into a worldie. But we have signed players where we thought, okay, that's a decent signing, and then literally 2 years later, they're part of your front three going for a European title and competing for the league. So I think when it comes to Michael Edwards and the coaching staff, you have to put faith in them again, because they have shown it in the past and they deserve that, if I'm being honest.
No, I hear you on that completely. I do. Shrim, thank you very much for coming on, bro. Really appreciate you calling in. Stop, man. We've got Daniel coming on next. Then we've got Sam. Then we've got Chris M. Daniel's a Chelsea fan. What you saying, mate?
Hi, Terry. How are you? All right?
I'm very good.
All right.
Yeah, long time no speak. What's your thoughts on Liverpool's proposed transfer strategy this summer?
I think they need to sell Salah to get a marquee signing.
Okay, so you think they should sign these players they're linked with, but also sell Mo Salah and bring in someone big?
Yeah.
Who do you think should replace Mo Salah?
People saying Mbappe, maybe Mbappe. I don't know. I don't know how much they're going to get for Salah, though. How old is Salah anyway? Do you know what age he is?
I want to say 29, but I don't know. 29's in my head. Let me have a little search now, Mo. He is 28, actually. 29 this summer, so pretty much right.
So he's in his prime then, isn't he, technically?
Yeah.
So it's the best time to sell him is in the summer.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, and who do you think would pay 120 odd million pound for Mo Salah? Who would be your bet?
I don't know, but I'm just saying it's.
Fair enough. Listen, I get that, Danny. I really appreciate all your support on the channel, mate. Big up yourself, bro. Thank you. Young Samuel's on now. What you saying, Sam?
Well, we got Terry. You know what? Liverpool. You remember last time when I first came on the TFT terrace, we had fans like Stroh, we had fans like Ram, and look, what happened to Zayn? Zayn's disappeared ever since Liverpool have gone that bad run. This guy's molded, nowhere to be seen. Just like Liverpool, nowhere to be seen. And they're saying they're going to make a marquee signing, but the past couple of years, Liverpool's best signings have been not really big. You know, Salah, who's been gone on the radar during the summer, Mane and Wijnaldum, three of the best signings to lead them to the title. They haven't been marquee signings, so I don't get that they're going to sign one big player because they've got so many needs throughout the team. You know, maybe even the right back position, they may need to get a new right back because defensively, I mean, Trent's a fraud. He has been exposed season in, season out. Too, I'm not sure how you think about this. Do you think they should just go for lower level players and just fill the holes in other positions, or just go for that one marquee signing to satisfy the fans?
Oh, you're the first person in 43 minutes that's actually asked my opinion on that. I think they need to do both. So I think they need to sell a star and bring in another superstar because that rejuvenation is needed. That front three's gone stale. They should have sold Bobby Firmino last year when his stock was high and no one was focusing on his lack of goals, only rival fans. Now everybody's looking at Firmino goals. So he's plummeted in value. So you could sell him, you're not going to get big bucks. They've got to sell one of Salah or Mane to raise the funds. And they just need to, it isn't about them two not being good enough. It's about rejuvenation. All the top clubs do it at times. Then they still need to spend. They need better than Shaqiri and Origi in backup. They need better midfielders than they have right now because Gini Wijnaldum has lost the plot. He doesn't want to be there. Henderson's limited as a technical football player. Curtis Jones is young, so you can't put all that pressure on him as an example. All their creative midfielders spend 95% of the season out injured. So they need to rejuvenate there. And defensively, they have no idea how good Gomez and VVD are going to be when they return. And Nat Phillips and Kabak are yet to prove to anybody that they're good enough to help a team win a Premier League title. So they have to do both of those things.
Also, I ain't sold on Klopp coming back next season because the way he looks, I know he's had all this news personally, but I think that Germany job, look for Liverpool fans, that should be a worrying thing because that Germany job, I think Klopp could really go for that job because I think he needs to take a step back from club football. He really needs a break. In my opinion, I think what Klopp should do this summer is just take a step back, take a year break because clearly I don't think he's in it. He clearly needs a break. But as for Liverpool going forward, they do need, you're right, they do need to sell the big stars and restart the rebuild again. Maybe they're going to go back like they did the early 2010s, finishing 7th, 6th, maybe one title charge every 5 or 6 years. This is Liverpool now because the dynasty or whatever this is called, the greatest team with Premier League history, it's all over now. That's my opinion. And as for tonight, listen, Terry, we're going to smash Slavia Prague We're gonna smash you. Hopefully, you smash Granada, Arsenal United final, and all the way. Listen. Before I go, Terry, I just want to do free advertisement for the TFT Terrace. Forget Sky Sports. Forget your Fabrizio Romanos. Stay here on the Football Terrace throughout the summer. #1 news, yeah. All the banter, all the rivals. Hopefully, Arsenal Europa final. So everything's gonna be lit. Big up to you. Peace out, Terry.
Mate, you take care. Cheers for the plug there, bro. I really appreciate that, Samuel. It's going to be a very interesting summer on the terrace. We're very, very excited about that. Next up, Chris M. We've got Ramel backstage as well. Bruno's backstage. We've got loads more callers to get on to have their say. Next up's Chris. Chris, welcome back to the terrace, mate. Long time no speak. How are you?
Yeah, what's good, man? Yeah, nah, these Arsenal fans, yeah, talking about finish. It's like, you know, a homeless man insulting someone who's in a council house. Yeah, that's Arsenal fans right here. I don't know why they're insulting us, but anyway, yeah, FSG. I think I told you this before. Yeah, this is what they are, man. This is what they're about. Sell to buy. They're not going to buy any big signing, and you know what? That's fine with me. That's fine with me because, like you said, their model. I don't really love their model. I think their model needs to be adapted, but it's not been wrong. It's not been terrible. And my problem is they've always been wrong in the timing of when they need to get the signings. Because why didn't we buy anyone in the Champions League run when we won it? Why didn't we buy anyone? We got Adrian on the free. That was horrendous. And now we need how many signings? Like you said, the midfield needs remodeling. We need an attacker. We need defenders. This all could have been settled if they got rid of the players at the right time and then bring in players at the right time. And this is the problem with FSG. They're content with us staying in the top 4 spectrum and getting their profit and getting that change. You know what I'm saying? And that's their problem. That's their the issue.
I hear you. Do you not feel this model could work though? Neto, Buendia, Konate, no one leaving. That would give you enough to win the title, wouldn't it?
There's just so many uncertainties. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we shouldn't get a Haaland, we shouldn't get an Mbappe if it means trading off Mane and Salah. And to be honest, who's going to get them in this climate? You know what I'm saying? It's not realistic. I feel like we should sell the deadwood. We should bring in players with potential, like the Netos, like the Rafinhas, like the Hassan. I feel like that will rejuvenate us because look what Jota has done for us. I feel like you bring in that fresh person who wants to prove themselves, who wants to be a champion, who knows that Liverpool will give them that foundation to be a champion. You just need new fresh faces. And that's what we need in Liverpool right now. We need the signings that we need, and we don't need that big signing right now. That's my opinion.
There we go, Chris. Strong views there, good views there. Top man, thanks for calling the show, my brother. Really
no worries, man.
Thank you. Make sure you're smashing that like button. Get your super chats in as well if you want to get your opinion put up in lights and highlighted, or any questions you have for me or any of the callers while they are on the air. We'll go to some member comments here as well. Just randomly, David here puts like Andy Carroll. That was an interesting signing. Arsenal can't chat to Liverpool. I mean, he didn't say his club was better than you, but I hear what you're saying. No echo chambers here, though. No echo chambers at the Football Terrace. Ramel's on next. What you saying, brother?
Yeah, right, bro. I'm good. Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with the last caller, purely because I felt like under Klopp as well, in recent years, obviously, we've bought well, but I always question, could we sell well? And obviously, now that I'm looking, we haven't done it great. And obviously, I remember in the summer, I think I came on for my second time, and it was debating whether Liverpool could go another year. And at the time, I felt like we could have went another year without making a major signing. Now, again, that was my gamble, got it wrong. And I felt like how you said before, FSG done the same, got it wrong. That's football. Now, I ain't angry at that. Obviously, I wish we could have done better this season, but it is what it is. But I feel like, though, in the summer, whilst there's some players that still in the squad that I like, because things have gone stale, I think a rejig is needed. So, for example, Wijnaldum, love him, great, in my opinion, but he needs to go. He's one of them that's been there too long. And my last point on, I can't remember if it was the last guy or the guy before, I would sell Firmino, then Mane. Salah's the last person I'd sell, if that meant getting maybe an Mbappe or a Haaland.
Yeah, it'd be the last on my list. I'm honestly, if Salah does stay at your club a few more years and you do win a few more trophies, like proper trophies, like I think you will, Mo Salah is going to be will be your greatest ever Premier League player, on ability, on outputs, and combined with the major trophies. I don't think he's the one I would let go. It's just a shame that Firmino and Mane have had such bang average seasons for players of their ability. But maybe you even looking and cashing in on both. Maybe you can raise enough money for that marquee signing by selling both. You still bring in the Netos of this world, and Klopp looks like that. Klopp doesn't like a massive squad anyway. A lot of reports say he likes a compact squad. So we'll see how that works. Ramel, great call, mate. Thank you for coming on, having your say. Appreciate it,
Blessings.
bro. Top man. Shane here says, Terry, it's not as if Liverpool haven't went for well-known players. Look at Upamecano. He was one of the most highly rated youngsters in Europe. They went for big names. Look at Thiago. Oh, they do go for big names, but there's going for big names and then there's spending the money. So Thiago was available for 20 odd million pounds. Upamecano had a buyout clause of around 50 mil. So they're within the bracket of affordability. There isn't, Upamecano would have cost north of 70 million pound without the buyout clause. They would have used, they would have gauged what other top level centre backs of his age bracket in Europe have gone for in recent years. Maybe there's a bit of COVID settings put into that, but you're not going to get much change out of 70 million quid. But he was available because of the buyout clause. I think if Haaland's clause was in play right now of 70 odd million pounds to get him, Liverpool would be all over that like a cheap suit. Would they spend 120, 130 on a player like him? Only if they raise those funds through the sale of somebody else. Next on the show, we've got Samuel. Samuel's with us now. What are you saying, mate? You're just on mute, bro. There you go.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, my man. You?
I'm good. I'm good. So I just wanted to say, we're not one of those clubs like City who can just splash the cash on just one player. We can't just put all of our eggs in one basket. So I want to trust FSG and spend that amount of money that we would on Haaland on like couple more players and let Klopp develop them.
And I can understand why you'd want to do that. And I don't think it's the worst model. I think Liverpool fans have just got to buckle themselves in and think, do you know what? The model of this club under FSG is they're happy with being champions, once or twice every 5 years. And that's the cycle. And do you know what? That's a pretty good return, especially for a club that won one title in 31 years. And I think that's the model they're going for. It's a cheaper alternative than spending. I mean, look how much money Chelsea have spent more money in the last 8 years in the Premier League. Sorry, the last 7 years than anybody else, I believe, even more than City. This is their first Champions League quarterfinal in that whole time. So
exactly, we could never be like them. We could never be like them.
Yeah, so I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I think to win the title next year, you need the Neto, Buendia, Konate type signings with another suit. I think that front three needs a proper rejuvenation, and I wouldn't like to see it as a United fan, but a big star coming in that is going to kill it. I know there's always a jury out, but for me, Mbappe and Haaland are of that level, and Sancho is at that level. They'd make it in the Prem. They're too good not to, in my opinion. They absolutely kill it. They're the same as Cristiano Ronaldo would done it in every league he's been in. If Messi came to the Prem, he'd have killed it here. Like they're too good not to 100%. Make it. You know what I mean? Too good.
Also, I want to say, I'm thinking if it was me, I would definitely keep Mane and Salah and get rid of Firmino, because I still think that we can't. If we sell Salah or Mane, we won't be able to bring another player who could fill those goals or the type of play, if you understand.
Yeah, no, I can understand that. Mane was someone I wanted. I think he's an amazing player. I think he's great. Having a poor season, but great. Mo Salah, like I've said, I honestly believe by the time he leaves Liverpool, he will be regarded as your greatest ever Premier League player for everything he's going to win you. His style of play, his ability, and of course the outputs, the goal scoring is just ridiculous. I mean, he's got to 150 Premier. Oh no, so he has more goals after 150 Premier League games than Thierry Henry. Who joined the best Arsenal team ever. Like that era that Thierry Henry was at Arsenal was the best in their history. And and Mo Salah's outperformed that. And people say he doesn't have technical ability. People are mad. Mo Salah.
No, I heard that.
I don't get it. I don't get what their agenda is. And Mo Salah is amazing. He's absolutely amazing. And one of the biggest mistakes ever made by Chelsea Football Club was letting him go. I mean, imagine right now, Chelsea should have Mo Salah and KDB in.
Crazy.
That's who should be in their team right now, bro. You take care of yourself, Sam. All the best, mate. Thank you. Super chat from Tahir says Arsenal have Travis Scott and a Lacazette player. I hear you on that, bro. Bruno's coming on the show next. Not Bruno Fernandes, but Bruno the Cruz is with us. How you doing, bro?
Well, personally, it's a pleasure to be on your show. And I think FSG need to pack the bags and leave.
Wow, you do?
Leave. They've got some traits in there of a Hicks and Gillette. They're liars.
What have they lied about?
Well, come on. They said they was going to spend money in the summer, blah, blah, blah. The summer has just gone. And who did they bring in? We won the Champions League. We were supposed to improve the squad. And who did they bring in? Adrian. Really? Shocking signing. Like, come on. We're Liverpool Football Club. We're not Sunderland. We're not Crystal Palace. We're not Aston Villa. These boards, I don't know what John Henry is thinking. If you can't, thanks for the memories, but if you can't do it, pack your bags and let somebody else take over who can do it. We're Liverpool Football Club. We're not Aston Villa.
There we go. Bruno's had he say there, Hicks and Gillette 2.0. I'm hearing Bruno. Thanks for the call, young man. I really appreciate that. I do. That's again, Liverpool fans are not all in good moods today. Not in the good moods. A man like Neek Sports here, big up my guy, says De Bruyne, Salah, yeah, Mount and look. That could be that. Lukaku was there as well, wasn't he? That could be their front four. Can you imagine it? Can you imagine that? Wow, that'd be so good. Legitimately, that'd be banging. That'd be absolutely banging. I can't talk about FSG when we have the Glazers and Woodward. You can, bro. Do you know what? It's not that. I don't believe in that in life. Like, just because I'm not one of doesn't mean I can't. Like, if my house is run terribly, like if my kids are crazily out of control, there's no discipline, don't eat at a dinner table, they hit me, I can't really be giving other people parental advice. I get that. But when it comes to football, just because my club's run badly doesn't mean I can't look at another club and say, that's not a good decision by your club, because I'm a fan of my club. I'm not the one making them decisions. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just a fan of. You definitely can speak about other people's clubs. Your club could be bottom of the league. Doesn't mean you can't have an opinion on the club that's top of the league. That's nonsensical. It's nonsensical. Plus Hazard. Yeah, Hazard might not have left if those players were there. Hazard may not have left if those players were there. That's just my view. That's just my view on things. Let's do a few more of these comments here. Liverpool have won one title in 30 years. Suddenly they think they are G's. They're allowed to think the way they think, man. They're allowed to think. MMA News says just more ungrateful fans. I guess every club has them. Listen, every club has human beings that support their clubs. We are flawed. We are all the same. It's all like, it's the truth. We are all, you scratch beneath the surface of people and we're all pretty much the same. We're fickle. We want things now. We're ungrateful. We're selfish. We bask in glory. We're all those things. We're all those things. Neil here says, afternoon, Terry. Liverpool have to buy to compete. Neil, they will buy, but it's who and what they're going to buy is the big question. But listen, we're back at 5:30. More big news regarding Haaland to Chelsea, Sancho to Man United, all from the same source today. So we're going to be bringing that to you a little bit later on. I'm really interested to get your views and opinions. Something I learned about football today as well that I never, ever, ever knew. And it's shocking. It's not. Actually, I'm a liar. I was shocking to have it confirmed, but I'd always thought it was the way things work. And Riyad Brewster is a prime example of it in terms of the way clubs will treat a player or use a player to ensure money comes in. Do me a big favor and smash that like button. Subscribe to the Football Terrace. Until next time, take care. Goodbye.